you've done this, and this is what I love about interim executives, especially interim CEOs, and you mentioned you can be industry agnostic, is you're brought in more because of a situation and an outcome that's desired versus certain industry experience or certain market experience. So you just off the top of your head, and I know you are not reading notes right now, is you've got a playbook. You have a checklist that you're going through to assess that, generally for the purpose of how do we move the company forward? And that may be through innovation. You hit on a big part of it, and that's to create the plan. You are gathering information from the customers, from inside the company, to put together a plan. And that's probably one of the biggest pieces that we hear is missing is not only do we not have a strategy, we don't have a plan. The CEO can't tell us how we're going to move forward and present a plan to the board. It's, well, trust me, it's going to turn around. I can see you smile because you've been through this story before.
You're getting into my secret sauce, my playbook.
I'm just gonna keep digging here, Greg.
Well, let me share this part of there's practical, and then there's getting into the weeds of it, right? I don't know how else to characterize it. I like to think, and I think this is very true, is that I can talk to anybody. My background in my life, I've done some very menial, horrible jobs. And I've been at the, in the executive suite of a Fortune 100 company. And I can do all that. So I feel I can talk to anybody. I can relate to anybody. I can connect to anybody at any economic level, socioeconomic level. And I'm very proud of that. What that has given me is the ability to operate at 50,000 feet as a board member, as a board director, privately held companies, nonprofits, or as a CEO, or at the 5-foot level. So practically, I'm going to circle back to that, but practically one of the first things I'm doing is I'm getting a read on the company. I want to meet with the board or the shareholder or shareholders and find out, okay, where do you think the problem is? What is the problem in your view? I want to get their input. I also want to meet with the CFO and find out if there's any practical liquidity issues or pending liquidity issues in the next 30 to 60 days. Those are immediate. I need to be addressing those. Are we near covenants? Are we looking to violate? How close are we? Because even though your lenders or those that hold your debt are not shareholders, they're very important stakeholders. And I cherish that relationship and I protect them just as strongly as I protect the shareholders, because they are a key part of the success of your business or the potential failure or trouble that you can. So I want to know, are there any liquidity issues? Let's address those. But then I'm getting into, and I'm going to meet with the executives as a group and then one-on-ones as quickly as possible, like the first day. I want to, as a group, I'll be with them quickly on the first day, the first morning, hopefully, and just say, okay, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? What is the strategy? What is our vision? What is our plan to execute that strategy, to achieve the vision? And I want to get it all down as quickly as possible. And then I want to meet with as many employees as I can as a group, small group, or one-on-one, because I want to alleviate fear. I read somewhere one time that depression was worrying about the past, anxiety was worrying about the future. And if you let anxiety build, it becomes fear. And in a time of change or transition, there's always fear. I have been involved in hundreds of transactions. So I know what that looks like and what that feels like from both sides, as I was the buyer, as I was the seller, as I was an intermediary. So it's important to go, again, we talked about people being one of your most critical resources. You need to, I like to meet with them and alleviate their fears and their anxiety before it turns into fears. And sometimes that's all it needs. And if you're in a company that has been struggling or there's some issues going on, your high performers know. Like, you're not hiding anything from the high performer. You need to be talking to them before they decide to take an offer that's on the table or they go pursue another opportunity because their high performers are critical to your company and your plan and your operation. Let's bring them in and let's chat with them. And if nothing else, just again, to alleviate their concerns so they know that, hey, you have a job. There's not going to be mass layoffs. Everyone's getting a paycheck on Friday. Liquidity issues are fine. We're just, a little period of transition here for whatever reason it is. We will agree on those issues before, or what we're going to say to the team and alleviate those concerns. And then it's meeting one-on-one with those executives throughout the week, circling back to those priorities, strategies, plans, visions, their piece of it, and then taking it all together at the same time. But while I'm doing that, I'm not acting as a consultant. Yes, I'm gathering this data. I'm gathering this information. I'm assessing. I'm meeting with people. I'm using my emotional intelligence and alleviating concerns, and I'm giving them space that they can express their emotions, their concerns, but also their thoughts, and give them the opportunity to share with me what they think should be happening. And that allows me along the way to identify any misalignment within the operations, within the company. And there's little things that you can do to adjust those misalignments as I'm going through, instead of it being like a consulting report after a week or two or a month or 3 months. There's little things that we could do along the way because I'm a doer, right? I'm going to build. I can operate at 5 feet. So if I see a quick win or low hanging fruit, I'm addressing it right away. Let's get going on that and see what the effects are, because again, that's part of innovation. You have to keep trial and error, and we're going to error a lot until we get it right, but we will get it right.